Welcome in, everybody. It is week 3 of the NFL season, and we are here to answer your questions, talk about what's happened so far this NFL season, go through some trades, go through some start-sit decisions. Tyler, my friend, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to be back for another week of football. I know we talk about this every year, but when we don't have football and it's the off season, it gets so lonely, and you just start thinking, and you're like, man, I really wish football was on. And then it comes back, and everything is right in the world at that point.
Yeah, it is certainly right, even though we've got a bunch of fantasy duds and some fantasy surprises that have already happened this season. And I know it's going to continue to grow, but we appreciate everybody who's tuning in tonight. So be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the Face Off Sports Network. And if you haven't already, jump over to X, follow us on at the FF Mediators. We are so close to 1,000 followers, so we would appreciate any and all help we can get to that. But Tyler, we've already got some questions in the chat, so let's go ahead and get started. So if you're here, be sure to throw your questions in there. We will go through. Of course, if you want to jump the line, you can throw us a super chat. We appreciate any and all donations, but we will answer each and every question, so have no fear. Tyler, first question from Smitty says, I just traded Judy for DJ Moore. What's your thoughts?
I personally probably wouldn't have done that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Rome just look like the best receiving option they have out of everybody? Tight ends, running backs, everybody. He just looks by far the most explosive. He looks like him and Caleb have a good connection. I mean, the dude scored 2 touchdowns last week. Judy, I get that the offense is struggling. I think Flacco's only thrown 2 touchdown passes this year, so I see that going up. I think that will trend upwards, but I don't hate it. It's just probably not the move I would have made.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Judy's one of those interesting players. People are a lot higher than me on him, but at the same time, I'm not the biggest DJ Moore believer either. So I think that I probably would have kept Jerry Judy in this situation, just given the fact that I think he's the best player in the offense to catch the ball. While at the same time, we do need to talk about Tillman. He's played well. I know that's a big guy that Pete's talked about this offseason, but at the same time, Tyler, I'm kind of with you on DJ Moore. I think Rome has looked to be the part. I said a lot this offseason that I thought Rome would be the one of this offense and continue to grow and take over that role. And, the touchdown certainly helped. But at the same time, Tyler, last week, 11 targets, 7 receptions, 128 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Absolute monster week, 28.3 points. So I love Rome's opportunity going forward. But, I don't think it's that big of a miss between Judy or DJ Moore, to be honest, either.
Yeah, they're probably in a pretty similar tier. He also adds here for context. He's got Justin Herbert, Garrett Wilson, Metcalf, and then Ridley, now DJ Moore, and then Addison. So, he even has Wandell too, which Coach would be excited about. That's for sure. I don't necessarily hate the trade. In the context, you're really looking at it. You're probably hoping Addison is your wide receiver 3 once he gets back. So it's okay. I mean, if you just needed somebody as a flex play right now, that's fine. I mean, I'm assuming you've probably got Ridley in there now, and you don't feel super compelled with him in there currently. So if you've got Jacobs, your boy Bill, Matt, Cross-Key Merritt's in there. I think Judkins will kind of come on too. So I think the roster's okay overall. Obviously, you have a few holes there, but I think it's a lateral move between Judy and DJ Moore.
There's probably going to be some more questions coming in here tonight about Judkins, and I see everyone's questions in here, so we will get to you, so stay with us. I just want to focus real quick, Tyler. It's interesting to me, Judkins immediately was playing and immediately had opportunity this week, which tells me a lot. I mean, this team in week 1, Sampson had the 6 or 7 catches, whatever it was. Okay on the ground, but at the same time, Judkins 10 attempts, 61 yards, added 3 targets and 3 receptions. That's telling to me. I think he's going to continue to get more and more workload, and I don't know, man. He could be a fantasy winner as we move forward.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll run through this real quick. But if you and Coach remember, I told you guys beforehand, I said once Quinshon starts, once he's actually on the team, he will be the RB1. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think he looked the most explosive out of any of the running backs for the Browns. He obviously showed that, like you said, 10 carries, 61 yards. It's averaging just over 6 yards a carry. He's got the receiving work. We've seen what Travion Henderson looks like on the Patriots and how explosive he is. And Judkins was doing just as much, if not more, at Ohio State than he was. So, yes, the offense may not be the best, but if you want somebody that will be in there on a down-to-down basis, I think Judkins will only increase in value as the year goes on.
Yeah, I totally agree, my friend. So we've got Zach in here. Welcome in, Zach. We appreciate you for tuning in, as always. Too Mean Fuzz says, Tyler, Ollie Gordon's still worth picking up off waivers. Would you drop Braylon Allen for him?
I would not drop Braylon Allen for him. I mean, he could be worth picking up, but right now I don't want any part of the Dolphins offense other than Devon Achane. He's the most stable asset for me. Waddle's hurt. Tyreek finally had a catch over 30 yards last week for the first time in like a year. And then Tua doesn't look great. So I would rather just have Achane and check out there. Plus, we don't even know how long, Mike McDaniel is going to be there. So.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I know a lot of people really like Ollie Gordon, but at the same time, 12% of the snaps only had one attempt for 8 yards, one target, and one reception for 5 yards. I think it's a pipe dream that he gets the opportunity. I've said it once, I'll say it again. This offense runs through Achane, and that's the only Dolphin that I truly am willing to play or want on my team. He's just so dang involved, and he does everything well. So I wouldn't really care to have Gordon. I'd rather have Braylon Allen. Either way, it's an interesting handcuff. Allen does get some use at the goal line. They didn't this past week, but at the same time, it was an abysmal game for them. They didn't do anything right. Fields got hurt. I wouldn't expect much from either of these players this week, but who knows? Scott says PPR start to Kamara, Pollard, and Mason. Thanks in advance. So, Tyler, I'm dying to know. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about Mason tonight. We've got Aaron Jones who moves to the IR. Mason steps into what could be a full workload. Of course, we have to deal with the injury to J.J. McCarthy where he's going to be on IR possibly, or excuse me, he's out this week, possibly going on IR. I'm not real sure what to make of Jordan Mason. I'm not the biggest believer there. I personally would start Kamara and Pollard. I think Pollard's got a really safe floor. He had 92 yards this past week. If he falls in the end zone, you're talking about a great week. Kamara is just Kamara. He's going to get plenty of opportunities both on the ground and through the air. Jordan Mason hasn't really impressed me, and even if you combine him and Aaron Jones' workload together, which I think they'll still use another back to spell him some, it hasn't really been that great, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't fault you there. I mean, here's the thing is he's probably going to get the lion's share of the workload here with Aaron Jones going down. I think they re-signed Cam Akers, which I'm not super worried about. The deal breaker, I think you start Kamara regardless. I think the only deal breaker or tiebreaker, I guess, between Pollard and Mason is the fact that guess who is starting quarterback for the Vikings this week? Do you know?
Do I
Carson
know? I know.
Wentz.
Carson Wentz, baby. He's back.
I would not touch that offense if I could help it. The only person that I would be willing to start is Justin Jefferson, and that's because he is going to be the best player on any field he plays on, and they will target him because they have to. Other than that, I'm not going to play a Viking. I would take Kamara and Pollard, like you said, and just hope he falls in the end zone.
Yeah, it's all you really can do. But Tyler, we've got a big one from Quincy here. Says, should I trade Chase for Lamb?
Okay, so I saw this kind of queued up here, and so I wanted to go back and look, right? So the last time that Jake Browning had any consequence at quarterback was 2023 when Joe Burrow got hurt. It was like week 11, right? So I wanted to go back and I wanted to look at Jamar Chase's stats during that time because I think a lot of people are starting to freak out and they're like, okay, well, what do I expect out of Jamar Chase? Okay, so from that point on, week 11, he was wide receiver 34, 33, wide receiver 6, 59, 35, had a bye against Pitt, and then 55 and 67 in the playoffs. That's not great. That being said, I mean, it's a lateral move, right? The thing is how do you frame that to the Lamb manager without having to give up something that feels like too much? You know what I mean? Like if you're having to go like Chase for Lamb should be a 1-to-1 pretty much. But now with Burrow going out, I don't think anybody's going to be willing to trade him straight up. And it's depending on what price you have to pay to go get Lamb. Like,
Yeah, I think you're kind of stuck in that situation of if you are adding a player to the deal, how much are you giving? Because you're still giving a
mhm,
premium player in Chase, where as long as someone gets him the ball, he's going to
mhm.
perform. At the same time, we know Lamb is tied to Dak Prescott, and this team is going to continue to be a solid offense and throw the ball all over the dang field. So I would have concerns if I'm the Lamb manager of, do I want to take the risk of Jamar Chase trying to be the guy, or do I, sacrifice some points? So I would be hesitant for that to even happen if it were me. But at the same time, I wouldn't blame you for trying if you're the Chase manager and you want to have some more stable asset on your team. So I would absolutely go for Jamar Chase. I've got Coach dancing in the background right now, asking to be thrown up on the screen. So keep that same energy, Coach. Welcome in. We're glad to have you here.
Now it's a party.
Now it's a party. The trifecta of the mediators is here. We appreciate your question, Quincy. We appreciate all of you watching. 16 over on YouTube, more on X. So if you're here, throw your questions. Let us know you're here. Like the button. Give us a follow over on X. We're so close to 1,000. We appreciate any and all help. Greg is here. Welcome in, Greg. Coach, it's your first question tonight, so you're going to get this one. Jared says, hey, guys, would you drop Hollywood for Franklin or Dobbs in PPR?
Ooh. Franklin, the one game kind of scares me a little bit, to be honest.
Mhm.
DK for Breeze. I think I'm going to take a chance on Franklin, though. I'm going to take a chance on Troy Franklin.
I mean, Franklin with back-to-back really productive games, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 44 yards in the first game. This past week against Tyler's Colts, 9 targets, 8 receptions, and 89 yards, added a touchdown, looked really, really good.
Mhm.
Franklin's been involved. He's staying on the field 83% of the snaps this past week. I'm interested too. Now, that being said, Hollywood Brown has played well, Tyler. A former love of yours, 93% of the snaps in week 1 with 16 targets and 10 catches. We lose coach. Well, he'll come back. 75% of the snaps this past week with 5 targets and 5 receptions, only 30 yards. Where do you lean on this question, Tyler?
So for me, like, I understand wanting to drop Hollywood. With Hollywood, it seems like every year his week 1 is great. He had 16 targets in week 1, and then he just falls off the map. So I get the frustration there. Man, Franklin or Dobbs just seem like, I don't know if I can. Are you going to thrust either of them into your lineup at that point? Like, I would probably be more interested in Dobbs, I think, because Jaden Reed has now went down. Dontavian Wicks can't catch the ball. Yes, Matthew Golden is there, and they have Tucker Kraft, but I just feel like Dobbs is the safest you're going to get out of those 3 guys.
I just can't trust Dobbs, man. I can't. And I know Coach thinks he's the best wide receiver the Packers have. And
I do.
I'll let you speak on that if you want, but I just don't trust it. I think this Packers offense is going to spread it all over the dang place. I think they're going to continue to be a good offense, but I just don't trust Dobbs. I would probably go with Franklin in this situation over Hollywood, and he does add guys. Would you trade DK for Brees, or would it be fair if I can get Brees or add some more PPR? Depending on the wide receiver room, I would be interested in trading DK for Brees, just given the fact he had a down week. And Brees, I think, is one of those guys that can really stabilize your running back room that a lot of people are just down on right now. So I would be interested in it. Either of you disagree?
Nope.
Yeah, I do, Brees.
Okay.
Speaking of Dobbs, I think Dobbs is the best wide receiver they have. That being said, I still think they're going to, share the ball. I mean, they spread it all over the field. Dobbs is just incredibly dependable. Like, I don't think he gets enough credit. The dude never drops the ball. He has incredible hands. I do think Golden is probably separating at a higher rate. I just think Dobbs is very dependable. I can't even explain to you why Golden isn't getting the ball more, but he's not.
Just
So
a couple
until then-
misses. This past week. It could have been a big week for him, but that's part of the game too. It wasn't. So to coach's credit, you need dependability, you need the hands. Tyler, Chris, our AKA man, Cronster in the Discord. If you're not in there, be sure to go join. You can check out his buy sell. Says, would you buy Jordan Mason?
I think you may have missed your chance now with Aaron Jones being out. The prices definitely went up. I think it depends on what you're paying. I'm not paying anything substantial right now with, like we talked about earlier, Carson Wentz is going to be your starting quarterback. I don't know how well that offense is going to move. Even though we all trust Kevin O'Connell, I don't think Carson Wentz has a career revival in Minnesota. So I would probably be waiting right now and let's see how the offense looks first, and then maybe by Jordan Mason next week.
Coach, I know you weren't in here, but I talked a little bit about how I would not be someone buying Jordan Mason. I just don't think he's that good of a player. I think he's fine. I think he's serviceable. He's going to have plenty of opportunity this week. The injury to McCarthy does scare me a little bit on this offense. Are you interested in Jordan Mason?
I mean, I'm interested because he's, far and away the best back they have. And especially if you're playing Dynasty and you've lost Aaron Jones, like you might be interested. But I'm not going to overpay for Jordan Mason if that's what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, I would pay a price that I consider reasonable. I'm just not going to overpay for him. Another thing I like to add, if we're talking about Dynasty, I put in some waiver claims for Xavier Scott this week, the other running back in Minnesota, because Jordan Mason's proven not to be the world's greatest out of the backfield. So it may lead to a little bit of opportunity for him as well.
Yeah, I think that is definitely worth noting, Coach. We'll take any and all plugs we can get for Dynasty waiver wires. You never know when it hits. We talked about Tyquan Thornton this summer. Just saying. He was 8% rostered.
Well, if we're going in deep Dynasty dives, then they have a quarterback sitting there, Max Brosmer, that if Carson Wentz doesn't play well, he's going to get a shot. If you watched him play in the preseason, like when I say that, I'm actually not joking.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dude is going to get an opportunity, and I know for a fact that organization loves him. So I'm telling you, don't sleep on that.
Coach is in the know. That's all you need to know. All right, we're moving on to Jimmy B. He says, I have Mahomes in May. My running back is Henry, Bucky, Henderson, Harvey, and Jacory, a.k.a. Bill. Do I trade Bucky in May for Gibbs? I mean, this is one of those situations where I always say take, Bucky, but in a single quarterback league where I have Mahomes, would I upgrade from Bucky to Gibbs? Heck yeah, I would.
Mm-hmm.
Either of you disagree?
Yeah. No, I would probably do it just based on the fact of we still don't really know what Drake May is. I mean, he had a good week last week, but his week 1 wasn't great. So, I mean, you still have Mahomes. So at worst, too, if it's a redraft league, how many quarterbacks are going to be available on your waivers too that can probably produce pretty similarly? So I would take the upgrade.
Coach.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I definitely consider it. I don't know what's going on in the other quarterback situation you have there. That matters. But, yeah, I mean, give me Gibbs.
Yep. All right. Over the Moon Film says pick 2, Tyreek Hill, Courtland Sutton, and James Conner. Real quick, I'm just going to plug my answer in. I'm going to go with Courtland Sutton and James Conner. I just don't trust this Dolphins offense. Coach, what do you think?
Yeah, and James Conner has worked into more of a split, but for whatever reason, like we've talked about this over the last few years, the NFL is becoming more about splits, right? The Rams are doing it. The Bucks are doing it. Like everybody's working on 70-30, 65-35 kind of things. But Connor's still going to get opportunities in the goal line. So I'm going Sutton and Conner.
Tyler?
Yep, I echo the same. I said it earlier. I'm out on the Dolphins other than HN. And I think, too, going to Coach's point about sharing the workload, I think that may actually allow James Conner to play all season. He played all season last year, and that was the first time I think he had done that in his professional career. So if they continue this trend, it may actually allow him to be available for all the games this year.
I just don't think you're going to get the return for Conner. Like he's not going to produce the way he produced last year.
Sure,
no, probably not.
And I think, Coach, to your credit, you kind of mentioned it. Yes, they are working in Trey Benson, but at the same time, if you go back and watch, Conner has always been in there at the goal line, and that's really what matters. If he falls in the end zone, your day is saved. Just because he's going to have such a floor of a workload, if he doesn't score, for example, like in week 1. He scored both weeks. So, I mean, if he doesn't score like this past week, he had 11 carries for 34 yards, 1 target, 1 reception for 18 yards. That would have hurt. But at the same time, this offense is good enough where they get down there and they score some points. So I like Conner going forward. This is a big week for me, though, with him taking on the 49ers of how do we value him going forward, because I think he's a fringe RB1, more of an RB2 going forward, but maybe he slips a little bit back to some of these other guys.
Yeah.
So Let's get to Luck's question here, Coach. And it says Cortland Sutton or Devontae Adams this week. He does have Puka Nacua. Are you comfortable starting both the Rams, or are you going to start Cortland Sutton, who's had a bad week on week 2?
Ooh, I think I'm comfortable starting both the Rams myself. Just I'll go on both Rams here.
Tyler.
I have a hard time doing that. Both the receivers, if they have a hard time scoring against an Eagles defense that already looks stout, you're really going to be hurting for points. And I'll probably just take Sutton, just hoping for an upside week.
It's a rough matchup for Sutton. He takes on the Chargers, who have been the best secondary thus far this year. They're great against the pass, so I don't love that matchup. I'm with you guys. I'm not a big fan of starting 2 players from the same wide receiver room, but at the same time, that team was humming last week, man. They played so well. It made Kyron really not matter, to be honest. Stafford is still a king with the ball in his hands. That being said, I would probably start Puka and Sutton. I don't think Sutton's going to have another week like he did this past week with only 1 catch. I don't see that happening again. I think he's going to be involved. He's going to be good. So expect more from him as we move forward. But we will continue in this chat, but we do have a super chat. So let's jump to Hoff's question real quick. And it is straight for you, Coach. How great is the 49ers Upton Stout?
Pretty great. Pretty great. What do you think there, Matt?
I mean, great, I guess. If Coach says it's great, I think it's great. I imagine that Hoff probably would say it's great too. And real quick before I let you go, Hoff, we appreciate you. Go ahead, Coach.
Yes, no doubt. I would just be curious, what's the deal with Brock Purdy? What are we hearing now? Like, I saw he may play this week, right?
I don't trust Kyle Shanahan as far as I can throw him with injury news.
I get it. We need Hoff to clue us in here.
I mean, I think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna play this week, but I think he'll be back sooner than we think. I think week 4 is probably the time. I mean,
I think it'll be 5.
You think week 5?
He has a chance to play Sunday versus the Cardinals. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Tyler.
Do you think maybe it's a little bit of we're playing a divisional opponent, so let's kind of keep them on their toes? We might have Mac Jones. We might have Brock Purdy. Who the heck knows? So
there's definitely some of that gamesmanship, right? But also, they're way better with Brock Purdy. So
totally agree.
It's maybe one of those things where if that dude can limp around, then we're going to put him out there.
Yeah, but that might be our first and only super chat we ever get on Upton Stout. So shout out Western Kentucky. Let's carry on, fellas. Tyler, this question is for you. Would you trade Chubb for Judkins?
In a heartbeat. I would send it and not think twice about it.
Coach, I'm interested to hear what you think. What do you think?
Absolutely. Judkins I'm all in on Judkins moving forward. I saw even they put him straight to the RB1 on their depth chart this week. Like Judkins is the guy.
Judkins is the guy, but I think it is worth noting that Chubb has a role in this offense in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 13 attempts in week 1, 60 yards, had a target. This past week, 12 attempts, 43 yards and a touchdown, added 2 targets, 2 receptions for 29 yards. So Chubb is going to be the guy while Mixon is out, and who the heck knows when he comes back.
But also, let's not forget, too, that the Texans' offensive line is horrendous. So I would much rather have the Cleveland Browns offense, even though they may be like in a tie there, and have the offensive line that Quinshon Judkins has already shown he can run behind, versus taking a stab at the Texans offense each week and seeing how many times CJ Stroud is going to get sacked. So
yeah, it's not a great line there. All right, Tyler, question for you. Chubb and Ridley for Judkins in London.
Yep. I would do it in a heartbeat.
That's a slam dunk if you can get that done.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not even close. That is not even close. No.
Yeah.
Like, speaking of Chubb, 12 carries for 43 yards. Like, outside of the one run, he was it was not impressive at all the other night.
Yeah. Outside of the touchdown run. The touchdown run saved him. It was like 20 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. He had an impressive catch. I'll say it. It was a nice play. But that being said, I think we also need to recognize the Texans as a whole have not played well. I mean, that defense is good, but the offense is frankly abysmal. And it's real talk about some regression for CJ Stroud and what the heck do we do with him going forward in the Dynasty world. But that's a product for another day. So let's carry on, fellas. Coach says, who should I start? Devontae Adams, Sutton, Pearsall, or Ridley? Puka Nacua is the wide receiver 1.
That's 2 in a row.
Yeah, like it's so funny. Like these are obviously the names people are all interested in too this week. You know, Sutton's got everybody torn up, me included. I could include Pearsall in that too, right? Because Pearsall took a step back this past week. It is worth noting too, watching Pearsall, he got beat up a lot at wide receiver. He gets pushed around at times. He's a really good route runner, but he still could use some strength. He still struggles sometimes against press man coverage. I'm still gonna go Pearsall. I think he bounces back.
Ooh. Tyler.
Well, I think this is the same guy that had the question before. So I guess I'm kind of down between Sutton and Ridley at this point, and I think personally, Matt, you talked about the Broncos having to face the Chargers this week, them having the best secondary. I think Ridley playing against the Colts, although the defense has looked good so far, I think if the Titans are going to score, if the Titans are going to win, they're going to have to score and keep up. So I would probably take Ridley.
Yeah, what a world. The Colts do not punt with Daniel Jones, but I'm going to go with Sutton. I'm sticking with it. I don't think he ends the week with 1 reception. He's too good. He's too important to this offense, and I think everyone in the Broncos building absolutely knows that. But Willie's here. Says, evening, gents. Welcome in. Croster says, you need to wait. Hope Browning does well, and then trade Chase if you're trying to bail. I mean, that's an option. I think it's tougher to do. It's a gamble and it's a risk, but at the end of the day, I don't really care if Chase sucks this week. If he's bad, he's still Jamar Chase. All it takes is to getting the ball in his hands. I mean, we've seen this countless times with these big name wide receivers, and it goes back to something we were talking about today in the group chat of you want good players on good teams. Totally agree. That matters if they're going to score points. But at the same time, it matters if these teams are trash. Did you want Malik Neighbors last year? I did. Brian Thomas last year? I did. The list goes on. Just because they're bad teams, I think is not a bad thing for the wide receiver. You could say it's
Not
bad for the running
far
back.
and away the best player on a bad team gets the ball a lot.
Yeah,
yep,
absolutely.
So
and let's not fail to mention too, though, that Jamar Chase could literally take any reception to the house. It all it takes is 1. That's all it takes.
I also think Browning's okay. I think Browning's okay. I'm not saying he's definitely not Joe Burrow, but he's better than a lot of backups.
I looked at his starts because we brought this up earlier. I looked at his starts in 2023 whenever Burrow went down last. From week 11 on, he only had 2 finishes, I believe, outside of the top 10 quarterbacks. And 1 week was 18, and his first week back was 25. Or the first week that he started was 25. All the rest of them were 4, 8, 8, 8, 9. He thrives. He does throw the ball a lot. So it'll just be where do those targets go?
And they're going to have to throw the ball a ton. That's not changing. I mean, it's just not. I mean, it's not an efficient run game. I can't believe we haven't talked about that again, but we are.
Coach, in my opinion, Browning is better than some guys that began the year as starters on some other teams.
Yeah, I mean, fantasy finishes 19 points, 21 points, 17 points, 20 points, 24 points, 26 points, 12 points. That's the year Tyler's talking about. That's better than a lot of players.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's consistent too, except for that last week.
So I would be interested in that. But let's get to Pete's question, guys. We'll continue to carry on. We appreciate everyone's chatting here, so we'll continue to answer all your questions. Throw them in there. Go ahead, Coach.
Also, if you're not following us on X, now is the time to follow us on X. We got stuff coming left and right on there. I'm serious. Now is the time.
Yeah. Coach says now is the time. We're so close to 1,000 too, so we appreciate all the love there. But Coach, Pete asked you specifically. He doesn't say this, but I know he did. Chris Olave Chris Olave, a nice but low question mark. I assume buy low, coach. Tied for second in red zone targets, has strong volume through the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I actually think he is. Like there's been multiple times this week I've thought about making trade offers, and I have like the angel and the devil on my shoulder. Like I hear Tyler telling me how great Olave was, and I have Matt talking about how he sucks, and I can't make a decision. But Olave, to me, this is a great time to buy low for him, in my opinion.
That's actually the perfect way to put it. Tyler is the believer. I am the doubter, and I think I liked him the most when he came in too. But
You did.
It's what happens, I guess. But coach, the people want to see you dance, so maybe that'll happen one day. Jimmy says, "Hey, coach, lots of coach love tonight."
Jimmy,
Pete says Wicks over Dobbs. Tyler,
please.
we've got a question for you. Trade Kyler Murray and Josh Jacobs for Patrick Mahomes and Jonathan Taylor.
Man, I think you're getting the better probably quarterback in terms of Mahomes. The Jacobs and Taylor is interesting. I don't know. The only reservation, though, is I don't know how long the Colts can go without punting. Like, you're seeing the best version of the Colts offense right now. I don't know how long that's going to last, though. That's the issue. So I would probably stick with Kyler and Josh Jacobs just because I think Josh Jacobs and the Packers are going to end up being game managers this year, according to that defense. And so I think he'll get a lot of work.
I love Josh Jacobs, man. I do. I like Jonathan Taylor. I think both these running backs are good. You can't go wrong. But this comes down to the quarterback for me. And I don't know how long we're going to keep putting Kyler Murray on the pedestal, man. He's played fine the past 2 weeks, but his matchups have not been difficult at all. And he's got 18 points and 15 points to show for it. Patrick Mahomes, on the other hand, took on Philly and the Chargers, who we're talking about are arguably the best defenses in the entire NFL, 26 points, 23 points. Give Mahomes his flowers, man. All we do is wrote him off all offseason, and he's continuing to do it. And I don't understand. I don't.
Oh, it completely blows my mind, the disrespect that people are giving Patrick Mahomes. Like, I'm making this trade, and I'm not even thinking twice about it. I think best case scenario, Jacobs and Taylor are a push.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And give me Mahomes over Murray all day long. It is worth noting Jacobs is tending to an ankle issue. Like, there's a chance he doesn't play this week. Not that may, I don't know if that factors in, but just something
I think he
know.
plays. I think he's fine.
Probably.
really
He's one tough son of a gun. I like Jacobs a lot.
Oh,
But
it's true.
Taylor in this vaunted Colts offense.
There's probably going to be several more Colts references tonight as we carry on.
That's what happens when you get a quarterback, you know?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
we keep going. I'll change the subject for you, Tyler. Would you trade
Thank you.
Kupp and DJ Moore or Chris Olave for JSN?
Yes, absolutely. I would trade whatever combo you wanted out of those three for JSN.
Give me the latter there. I want Olave and JSN. They're the two best players in the deal.
I think it's saying, will you trade a package of the three for JSN by himself? So like Kupp and DJ Moore or Kupp and Olave for JSN.
Oh, okay.
And
I would trade Kupp and DJ
it.
Moore for sure.
Yeah.
Kupp and
I'm still
Olave
trading-
probably.
Yeah, I'm still
As a
trading
Bears
that.
fan, I wish the Bears would trade DJ Moore. So in this instance, Kupp and DJ
He's gonna get him
Moore
off
for
his team.
JSN.
Yeah.
it
Follow
both
Rob.
ways.
Says evening gang. Welcome in,
What's up,
Rob. We
Rob?
appreciate you being here.
Rob Thomas, Matchbox 20 in the house.
Yeah, there we go. Thoughts on selling Kyron right now? Got offered BTJ Judkins, and I'd be giving up Kyron and DJ Moore. Coach, it's your guy, DJ Moore. Would you do this deal?
Yeah, I mean, BTJ and Judkins, I probably would. Kyron's the safer play over Judkins, there's no doubt. But BTJ's upside is way higher than DJ Moore's. DJ Moore's the second best receiver in Chicago now. We know that. Rome is the best wide receiver they have. So he's the two. He's not going to like it a whole lot. Yeah, BTJ and Judkins.
And, you know, while we're here, let's talk about Brian Thomas a little bit before I kick it to you, Tyler. 2 down weeks. Coach and I talked a lot about what he played like this week, and I didn't like what I saw. It didn't look like he was helping his man Trevor out. I know a lot of people are going to point to the fact, well, he was really good with Mac Jones, so maybe it's a Trevor problem. It might be to an extent, but I also think that there's a little bit of a problem with BTJ himself. I don't think
And-
he's going out there to make those catches, man.
And there's a problem with Trevor Lawrence. Don't ignore that, Matt. You got to own up to that a little bit.
And that hurt my heart, and you know that. And I don't want to talk about it, but I will. And you know,
I can't explain the BTJ thing. I can't explain it. Like, it makes no sense to me because and maybe I just missed it last year, but I didn't see any of that. Like, so what has changed over time? Like, I can actually understand a receiver doing that occasionally, right? Like, I really do get that. It caught me out of surprise. I did it. I pulled up. I didn't mean to. Oh God, I look like a wimp. I don't know, but he did it 4 times,
like 4
something
times.
like that.
4 times. He let up, and he knew he was going to get hit, and he didn't want to get hit. And listen, everyone's going to call it a hospital ball, but that's not what it is.
No.
And we could talk about that for 10 minutes. Someone wants a question about what's a hospital ball. But Tyler, what's your thoughts on this trade? Any thoughts on BTJ?
I think as long as you have the running back depth, because as much as I love Judkins, I think you're still going to have to probably give him another week or 2 before he fully gets ramped up. So if you have the running back depth, I would make the trade. I do find it interesting. It has nothing to do necessarily. Well, maybe it does with, giving up on routes and stuff, but it has been reported that Brian Thomas was dealing with a wrist injury through this week. Now, they can go back and say that was an excuse or whatever, but he was on the injury report. He did practice fully today. So maybe it's something to kind of monitor. I don't necessarily think that's why, the whole Sunday mishap has been, but he's still got 12 targets. I mean, he's being used. He's just not capitalizing. So I would still take the BTJ and Judkins side.
Yeah, I would too. And I do want to say that Kyron, I think, is a steady back, a stable back, but I think his upside's still limited, man. I can't help but feel like it is. And we've talked about that before. But let's carry on, guys. We got a lot of questions, so we appreciate everyone in here, and we'll pick up the pace just a little bit here. Kyle says, what are we doing with A.J. Brown, coach? I personally think we're playing him no matter what, right? I mean, you just got to let him roll. He had 8 targets this past week. It's just got to get a little bit more done.
I want him off my
if
team.
Pete's in your league, send him to Pete. If Pete's in your league, send him to Pete for a haul, massive haul, 3 first rounders and whatever else.
Yeah,
if he's on your team, you're running him out there.
Yeah, Tyler, you said you want him off your team, so do tell.
I sure do. I'm not convinced. I mean, we know the caliber of wide receiver that A.J. Brown can be, but he just isn't showing that this year. I mean, Dallas Goedert had 7 targets in week 1, and then last week the only reason A.J. Brown had all the targets he had was because Dallas Goedert was gone. Like, they kind of filled the same role there. A.J. Brown did last week. So I'm not saying that, if Goddard comes back, A.J. Brown isn't getting targets, but it's kind of correlated there whenever you see him side by side. So I'm trying to get rid of him if I have him on my teams. We actually talked about this over the offseason. We did have a sell A.J. Brown video at one point.
Ooh,
and people were clowning us. They were like, why are you trying to sell an elite wide receiver on the Super Bowl champion team? And it's just like, it just makes sense. Like, once they get to a certain point and they start to fall off, it's very rare that you see them come back. So I'm not saying A.J. Brown's going to be a full dud this year. I just don't think he will be the upside shot at wide receiver we expected.
Yeah, I mean, he's 20 – yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you this, and you can elaborate on this, but don't you think this possible that right now is a great buy low opportunity for A.J. Brown?
I do like that too. I think this is the 2 extremes of, if we're talking dynasty, I would be interested.
He's 28, just to note.
He's 28 years old. He's in a really good offense, but an offense that I think the 3 of us would agree is limited passing wise. They are going to score a bunch of points. They are each going to have weeks where they go off, but the actual passing volume of Jalen Hurts is limited. That is a fact. You can debate it what you want of he's developed as a passer or he hasn't developed as a passer. It is a limited pie. Now, that being said, Coach, I don't disagree. I would check the price. If the manager is panicking, like maybe Kyle is or maybe Tyler is, I would start throwing names. Would you be interested in, let's say it's redraft, would you rather have Lad McConkey or A.J. Brown?
Lad
Oh,
McConkey.
Lad.
Okay. Would you rather have Cortland Sutton or A.J. Brown?
I'd take
A.J.
Brown there.
Would you rather have, I'm trying to think of someone else.
Listen,
What about DK?
This is the point, and it's really not. And Matt's making this point. I just want to add to that. It's not necessarily A.J. Brown, right? In 2024, Jalen Hurts threw for 2,900 yards, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2,900 yards. Never thrown for 4,000. Never.
It is a limited
2,900 is incredibly low. Now, did he throw the ball well when it mattered? 100%. Did he play great in the NFC title game, Super Bowl? 100%. But for whatever reason, he is not producing. And I know two guys in here that traded Jalen Hurts for Herbert and feel really good about it right now.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I know those guys too. That was a great deal for us. That team's humming, by the way. Check out the mediators room if you're not. All right. Well, let's carry on and let's get to Adrian's question. It says Jawan Jennings, not Jawan Johnson, Pete, Brees Hall, Hampton, Cup, and Devontae Smith. Start one wide receiver and two flexes, coach.
Juwan Jennings had a heck of a day that day. I think he had like 10 targets or something.
Mm-hmm.
One wide receiver, two flex. Well, my wide receiver, I'm gonna put Devontae Smith as my wide receiver. I'm gonna flex Brees Hall and probably Juwan Jennings and see if he repeats it.
Tyler?
So this comes down to me whether Jawan is available. He wasn't at practice today with an ankle and shoulder, which is fine. Wednesdays can be rest days. If he is available, I would probably put him as my wide receiver option, and then I would probably throw in Brees and Devontae. I mean, Hampton is interesting, but we've yet to see the full production out of the Chargers backfield that we hope to see. And I think that's because, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Chargers are either the highest or second highest in pass rate over expectation, which is something completely outside of what we thought of a Greg Roman offense. So in that world, I would probably do some combination of Juwan Jennings, Smith, and Brees.
Yeah, I don't want to agree with you guys. It's too easy. I'm going to go with Hall, Devontae Smith, and I'm going to start Cooper Kupp. And I'm not going to feel great about it, but he's been on the field a ton. Week 1, not a great week for him. Only 3 targets, 2 catches, 15 yards. This past week, 9 targets, 7 receptions, and 90 yards. He was really involved. He's out on the field. I think he's kind of that safety blanket for Sam Darnold. So I'm going to start Cooper Kupp. I think it's Juwan Jennings. I want to see him do it again, to be honest. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like that answer, but that's just how I feel.
Matt, before we move forward, I'm going to get your opinion, your thought on one thing here. Can you go over a simple, quick and simple take you have of the tush push? Tell us what your thoughts are on that.
Coach wanting to get me riled up here, folks, so I apologize in advance. It should be noted I'm a Washington Commanders fan, so I have some hatred towards the Eagles and the tush push. But that being said, it is simple, and it is one thing. Enforce the rules, and this all changes. And I'm not talking about the false starts. It's them lining up offsides. It's that easy. No one's talking about that. They cannot break the hip of the center. This is football 101. Go back to 7th grade. Go back to 5th grade and learn how to line up, get in your stance and starts. I can tell you all about it because it's simple to me, but no one talks about that part. And Coach just heard me rant about this 1,000 times, and I'm going to continue to rant about it because it's simple. If we enforce the rules, the tush push immediately does not become as effective as it is because you can't line up off sides. You can't have a false start. And then secondly, Coach, I know what you're going to talk about is you can't aid the runner. That is a new thing. 10 years ago, you couldn't aid the runner. You couldn't push them from behind. 20 years ago, you couldn't do that. Yeah, there you go. So there's my 30 stance on the tush push, and I hope I didn't.
The defense gets to the ball. The line,
Yeah.
the offensive line does not. Those guys are all lined up off sides.
Every
all
time.
they got to do is call it. All they got to do is call it once. They're going to quit doing it. Just
Every
call
time.
it.
Real quick, guys, to Adrian's question, would your thoughts change if you had the opportunity to start Dobbins? I'm
No.
unchanged.
No, not this week.
No, I don't think so.
Michael says, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the like button, especially if you have an agreement with my stance on the tush push. Ask your questions if you want to. We'll break it down.
Hey, by the way, before you read this question, I just want to applaud you because that was a very concise argument very quickly. As many times as I've heard that, that's probably the best way you put it in such a short amount of time.
Thank you.
Well, he is a lawyer.
I argue for a
Yeah.
living, folks. So
True.
it's do what I got to do. Brandon Tyler says, start one. Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, McCaffrey, sit one. McCaffrey or Josh Jacobs. I was starting to think, I was like, dang, that's a hard choice. Like, there's a lot of names.
Yeah. I think that comes down. Coach mentioned was it the ankle injury for Josh Jacobs? If that sidelines him, it obviously makes your decision for you.
Sure.
Outside of that, I'm probably going Kenneth Walker because I don't want to play the game of whose backfield is it this week. We saw week 1 where it was Zach Charbonnet. Last week, it was Kenneth Walker. I don't want to sit there and play the game going back and forth whenever I know all these other guys have their running back, room kind of locked up. So I'll take the shot on sitting Kenneth Walker.
Coach, I'll let you go before I throw my answer out there.
Well, it's worth noting, Tootin was limited in practice today for the Jags. Maybe nothing, but there's something going on with his shoulder. If he was to not play, then I'm definitely firing up Travis Etienne. Jacobs injury, Tyler's right there. But I would probably actually sit Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I'd sit Walker too. Just based on my running back rankings, video's out. Go check it out. I would sit Walker. Now, that being said, I do want to say that we wrote Walker off too fast. We really did.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Brandon here, my friend, your Texans may have not looked great, but at the same time, your running back room here is stout. So well done.
Yes.
Great job drafting that. Coach, did you have a final point, or are you just?
No, I was just admitting that I wrote Walker off a little too fast, but he's still not amazing. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. But
Sure.
yeah, I wrote him off a little too quick.
The truth is in the middle, is what we would say. Nino says, we talked about the trade last live, but ended up pulling the trigger, sent Tyreek Etienne for Chase Brown and Jacoby. Tyler, how do you feel about this deal?
I mean, I think it's probably a little bit closer now that we've got, Tank being gone from the Jags and ETN looking as good as he has. But I would still take the Chase Brown, Jacoby side regardless.
Tyler, or Coach, sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm Chase Brown, Jacoby. That Raider offense looks so bad. That's a little concerning with the.
But which
Chase Brown.
Which one looked worse though, the Raiders or the Dolphins?
The Dolphins. I mean, 2 or 3 for 315 and 2 touchdowns. We act like Tua was terrible. Can we stop acting like Tua was terrible? He was 26 for 32 for 315 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oof.
I'm just saying, Geno was 24 for 43.
Geno was
180
terrible.
yards, 180 yards and 3 picks. Who was worse? The Raiders.
But
by a lot.
Coach,
passing
or not
game.
Coach. Yeah, Matt, I think our love for Tua's coming back over here with Coach.
No,
I think the pendulum's swinging back.
Hey, you know him. He's going to go buy him and then regret it next week.
Ship him off.
Now that being said, Coach, I think it is worth noting.
Did I say anything wrong? Did I say anything untrue?
No, I totally agree.
No,
Geno
you
looked terrible. And,
I'm just giving you
the
a hard
Raiders. The Raiders is so interesting to me. We could talk about that for an hour. Now, that being said, A-Chain did have 92 of those 300 yards. That guy is a monster out of the backfield. They're
And he
throwing
would
it
have
to
had
him
more.
every chance they get. So I don't hate the trade. I don't like Tyreek. I haven't. But let's carry on, guys. Unless Coach, you got one more.
And
thing to
Geno's
say.
a little better. Geno's going.
I thought he did.
Truth somewhere in the middle with Geno too. He's not
There we
that
go.
bad.
100%.
Truth is in the middle. That's what we say. Brandon asked us, guys, Patriots or Bucks defense? And thankfully for us, we have this wonderful guy named Pete, and he does defensive breakdowns, and he's very, very good at this. And he has this wonderful ranking. So if you're not on the Discord, you should go join the Discord because it's free. And according to Pete's rankings that I'm currently staring at, he would start the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's the defense that I would choose. Anything different from either of you two?
Nope. Summed it up perfectly.
All right, let's carry on. He probably gave up more, but I need to get rid of Tyreek ASAP, especially having CMC. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that the fellas would agree. Cronster says Connor is outside of the top 30 in yards per carry and yards per touch, and number 3 in touchdowns. If you get a TD, if you're happy. If not, you're not. Don't disagree. Father Rob says, which backup running back would you rather roster rest of the season? PPR redraft leagues. Woody Marks, Blake Corum, Chris Rodriguez Jr. Coach, this is for you.
I think it might be Blake Corum. To be honest, like he's getting more consistent run and has played better during that run than the other two. Chris Rodriguez is tough to tell right now. Give him a week and see what happens. Exactly, in my opinion. But I kind of Blake Corum is getting more run every day. It seems like.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead. I don't know.
No, go ahead, please.
No, the Texan offense. Like I was watching Woody Marks to see whether to put him in my waiver wire ads, but he just.
He did everything in like the first half, and then nothing happened after that. He looked good in the first half. Had that
I was like monitoring his usage in the second half. Ugh.
Yeah,
gross.
I'm with you, Coach. I would go with Blake Corum. He's in probably the best offense out of the 3 of these players, and at the same time, he ran 5 attempts, 44 yards this past week, and the touchdown looked okay. See what that role looks like going forward. Tyler,
I hate to clean sweep it, but I probably agree. I like Woody Marks' opportunity, but we mentioned it earlier. That line is just atrocious. So I'd probably take Corum.
Yeah. Trone says someone offered me Etienne for Ja'Cory. I need a QB with Jaden Daniels being banged up. Would you trade Ja'Cory and Wandale for Etienne and Drake May? Coach, I feel like I have to give it to you because Wandale's mentioned. So I'm going to let you go first.
As we go here, Matt, tell me a little bit about Jaden Daniels. How are you feeling about that?
I'm a little concerned. It's at least something to monitor. I think he's going to play because I think he has to. Like this team needs to get a win. I think it needs to get back in the win column and keep pushing forward. I haven't really seen anything that scares me like he's not going to play. He didn't practice today. Probably not going to practice tomorrow, I don't believe, but I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to play. It's worth noting too that they played on Thursday night, so it's a mini bye for him. So I think they're using that to their advantage to give him all the rest they can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense. One thing I want to add to this, just talking about this, can we give Wandale Robinson a little bit of love? Okay, so hang on. In his last 7 games, going back to last year, last 5 last year, and the first 2 this year, 11 targets, 9 targets, 12 targets, 7 targets, 11 targets, 8 targets, 10 targets. If you're looking for a steady floor, Wandale is your guy. And last week he went for 142 to go with that. It's time that he gets a little bit of love. This guy is a prototypical flex dude. Like I would throw him in my flex all day long and feel great about it. But
it's like a good DFS play.
Yeah, 100%. That being said, I think I'm depending on the quarterback situation. I guess I'm gonna go Etienne and Drake May because I think Etienne. I feel better about him than Bill.
My only hesitation with this deal is what does the quarterback waivers look like? If this is redraft and it's a 10-man or a 12-man. And you can go pick up someone off the waivers. Like, I don't know who would be out there, but Coach, who was on your waivers for quarterback this past week?
Well, Daniel Jones is still available in like 70% of leagues.
I would be interested in keeping the players on my roster, like not having to get rid of. I mean, I'd maybe do Bill and Wandale for Etienne, depending on my running back room. That interests me.
Daniel Jones is available in 80% of leagues still.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that he's a worse play than Drake May. Like, I could see both of them doing the exact same thing.
Penix available in 60% of leagues, right?
Yeah, that interests me just as much as Drake May.
Now you tell me, is Jake Browning? Drake, mate.
He's performed. Yeah, so, gotta at least say that. But let's carry on, guys. Father Rob Thomas says, with Jaden Reed out indefinitely, which Green Bay Packers wide receiver would you rather have in PPR? Romeo Dobbs, Matthew Golden, Dontavian Wicks. One sentence answer from you, Tyler, and then we'll go to you, Coach.
If you need safety, I would go Dobbs. If you're looking upside, I would go Golden.
Coach.
Dobbs is the best receiver they have. Golden will get the plays and the opportunities that Jaden Reed did get, so he'll have opportunities to score more. So Golden long term this year.
My heart says Golden. My brain says Dobbs. Follow your brain. R on X says, who do y'all think I should start as my running back 2? Hampton, Tracy, Charbonnet, or Judkins? This is a tough situation to have as your RB2. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but let's go with the safest rookie of them all, Judkins. And that didn't feel like that was actually the case. You both shaking your heads? Are you both Judkins as well?
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
All right. Hoff says Purdy is practicing, but I don't think he's playing. I agree. Bet the over Mac Jones passing yards. There you go. That's going to be good things for Juwan Jennings and for Ricky Pearson.
Dang. There you go.
The line blows. I'm assuming this is talking about
the Texans, probably.
The Texans. Okay. Yeah, well, we'll carry on. Drone Force has needed 2 wide receivers in a flex this week. PPR league. Tyreek, DK, Terry McLaurin, Travis Hunter, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Warren, Ja'Cory, and Wandale. I'm definitely going to flex Jalen Warren. I'm going to start. McLaurin and DK? Coach?
I think. Okay, so here's the thing. If Jaden Daniels plays, yes, I would go with that.
Great point.
If it's Marcus Mariota, I would probably. Oh, Coach, I can hear Coach now. I would probably put Wandale in as well as DK. That would be my 2 that I'd probably start.
Coach?
I love it. I love it. Matt, you didn't say Travis Hunter?
I wanted to. I would go opposite of you guys. If Daniels were to not play, I would probably go Hunter over McLaurin. And I know why you want to start Wandale, Coach, but the deep bomb touchdown to Wandale Robinson just does not feel consistent. That's not his game. And maybe Russ unlocked that. That's possible, but I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't.
Like I just think if Wandale does nothing, he scores you 7 points. You know what I mean? Like, I'm serious. That's the floor. I'm going DK, McLaurin, and flexing Wandale.
Okay. Benching Jalen Warren feels like a mistake, but I get it. Adrian says, would you trade CMC for A.J. Brown and Pickens, my squad? Jalen Hurts, CMC, Bucky, Justin Jefferson, McConkey, Kelsey, Flex, Brees Hall, Hampton, Bench, Dobbs, Downs, Jennings, Kupp, Ryan Robinson, and Franklin. Tyler, what's your thoughts here on this deal? Would you do CMC for A.J. Brown and Pickens?
I'm assuming he's just trying to fill out his wide receiver room because he has JJ and McConkey, neither of which have looked like great the past 2 weeks. They've been kind of floor plays, I feel like. That being said, I still don't think I'm trading CMC for those 2.
McCaffrey's too dang good.
Yeah, and you've got Brees and Amari and Hampton too that's in your flex, so you're going to need – and you have Bucky. So, like, I'd rather just keep my running backs and try to capitalize on, like, Dobbins and Jennings or something. Try to trade up something there to build you, some wide receiver depth. But I wouldn't trade CMC for that.
Coach, you doing this deal?
No, I'm holding on to CMC. He's looked fantastic. I'm serious. Like if he stays healthy, that's a league winning back right there. Now we all know that might not happen, but right now it is.
Totally agree. So Chris adds, for what it's worth, he's not bailing on Chase. My comment was the question about trading him. Totally agree. Just give him context, Chris. A1 says facts. Browning's first 8 of 11 passes went to Chase last week, 133 yards. That's a great point. I mean, it's one of those things. If he hyperfixates on the one guy who we would all agree is top 3 at the position in the league, that's a good thing. So start him with confidence. He's still Jamar Chase. Says, thanks, fellas. Is it time to drop the Broncos defense and stream? I'm considering picking up the Falcons and Panthers. A1, you're in luck because I'm staring at Guess Who's rankings. Pete's, and he has the Atlanta Falcons currently ranked as his third best defense on the week. So, with that being said, I'm going to say that is what we do. We take the Falcons and we run.
Mm-hmm.
Disagreement, Coach?
I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree. If Pete says it in his rankings, that I'm going with that. But I do think the Broncos D they're fine. One bad week is not
They'll
terrible.
be better. It happens.
I agree.
Yeah.
The Colts are just an elite offense with a playmaker in the pocket, and I'm not talking about Jonathan Taylor. They do not punt, folks.
Who's also good.
Who punts first? Us or the Colts? Probably
Let's
us.
talk about this. Tyler Warren is for real, too.
Yes.
He really is. Are the Bears regretting Colston Loveland?
I don't think that's the problem. Right now, we're not getting the ball to anybody. If Tyler Warren was in the offense, I don't think we'd get him the ball either.
Probably not.
I'm with you, Coach. I'm not panicking on Loveland for all those people out there panicking. He was never the redraft play. He's always been the dynasty play. And I think that'll continue to get better as we move forward. All right, PPR question here for you, Coach. Would you trade away Judkins and Addison for Jalen Warren and Ricky Pearsall?
No. Well, shoot, hang on. Oh, man, it's tough. If Purdy's coming back, maybe. God, it's hard. I think I might. Yeah, I think I might. As I look at it and think about it more, I think I might. I'm terrified of that Minnesota passing game right now. Like Addison feels like he's not going to be able to give me a whole lot with the quarterbacks they got back there. Whatever they do get, it's going to go to JJ. I feel like.
Tyler?
My original reaction was no, because I was like, well, Addison only has one more week of suspension left. Like, that's the way I started thinking, and I talked myself out of that real quick. I mean, having Carson Wentz as your quarterback is tough enough. And we don't know how long it's going to be for. I think it said 2 to 4 weeks. Jalen Warren is still serviceable as a running back. Ricky Pearsall's their number one option outside of McCaffrey. So I'd probably take the Warren and Pearsall side.
Yeah, the JJ injury has me concerned. I'm a big Addison believer. I like Addison. I loved his cost. That being said, I'd probably be interested in doing it as well. It would depend on the rest of my roster. Am I trying to buy a win? Do I need a a wide receiver right now, and I need to go get Ricky Pearsall to play him? Yeah, you do what you got to do. But I don't know. That's a tough one. I need some context. Before we carry on, we are at the hour mark, so we'll keep going. We'll answer all the questions in here. Coach, do you have your coach's picks ready for tonight?
I do.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure you did your homework and you're prepared. So we'll carry on. Alicia says, should I grab Green Bay? I have Baltimore right now. Pete says, yes, according to his rankings, the number one defense on the week, so go grab them. Miriam says, trade Dak and Jigba and Walker for Bijan. Tyler, would you do this?
No.
Coach?
Maybe. I would need to see the rest of the team for some context here.
I think that does matter. Like, are we trading Dak and you have Mahomes sitting down there? Or are we trading Dak and you're going to pick up Daniel Jones? Is Walker your RB3 or is he your RB5 or RB4?
Yeah,
I think
that matters.
Yeah. But Bijan is definitely the best player in the deal. We all would agree. Yes.
Yep.
All right. Really? Nelson says Ridley or T. Higgins this week, Coach?
T. Higgins.
Yeah, I agree. You trust the player, you trust the playmaker in the offense, and you go with it.
You know what's happening to Ridley is A.O. Manor is creeping up. They're sharing targets now. Like A.O. Manor's slipping in on him a little bit.
R asks, what's y'all's YouTube link? You can find us at the Face Off Sports Network. Maybe one of these guys can drop the link in the chat. If you are still here, R, we appreciate you for tuning in. You can also jump over to, I believe, our Twitter page, and it should be linked in there too. So check out the profile there. But let's carry on. And says top wide receivers available: Juwan Jennings, not Juwan Johnson, Cooper Kupp, and Allen. I have Marvin Harrison, Tet, Puka, Pearsall. Do I make a move? Coach, you're a waiver expert right now. What are you thinking?
I really think I'm just going to hold what I have right there. I mean, I like Ibuka. Tet's still the only receiver in Carolina at this point. Jennings has been hot, but I'm not fully bought in enough to move one of these other guys for him. I do have concern about Harrison Jr., which I always have, and I think he's kind of proven to be that type of player, dependable, not necessarily the superstar everybody hoped he would be. But yeah, I'm just going to hold what I have at the moment.
Tyler.
Yeah, I tend to agree. You've got Pearsall already, so Jennings. I mean, you could take a shot there, but I'm not dropping one of those guys for anybody on the waivers. I don't think.
Yeah, I would be hesitant to make a move, to be honest. But that's just kind of where I'm at. If I had a running back I could drop, the one I would pick up would probably be Allen. I know he's 1,000 years old and went to high school with Coach, but at the same time, he's been really, really involved. So that's the move I would make.
Would either of you make a move if Troy Franklin was available? If he was the name here?
I think I'd take Franklin over Jennings and Cup. I would probably lean Allen over Franklin.
I agree.
Would you take Franklin over any of the other four?
No. I'm with you. I'm holding this. I'm not making a move. O'Reilly Nelson says Bill, Chubb, or Pacheco at RB2 this week, Tyler.
I don't think you can start Pacheco right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's probably Bill. I think Chubb. We've talked about him. Most of his production last week came off of that touchdown run. He did have a nice catch, according to Matt. But I'm not starting Pacheco right now, and I don't really want to get behind Chubb, so I'd probably go Bill.
Bill is scary. I mean, he only had 1.8 points or whatever it was this past week. He does step into what should be a larger workload with Eckler having the torn Achilles. I'm comfortably starting Bill with like a blink, throw it in there and move on. I do think that Pacheco has a really good matchup this week, taking on the Giants. The Giants have given up a bunch of points to the running back position. Now, that being said, I think he's played terrible. And I think that goes for the run game as a whole. The offensive line for the Chiefs, not very good. So Pacheco, I don't love playing him in any opportunity. I think Kareem Hunt, as gross it is still involved. He had 8 carries. He had a catch. He's going to continue to be part of this backfield. And it's a player that they trust, too. And that's worth noting that Mahomes likes when Hunt's back there. Hunt made big plays down the stretch. No, they didn't win the game, but that's what they want to see. So I think I would start Bill. I think he's got the most upside and the most to prove. If Daniels does not play, then I would play Pacheco.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to go Chubb.
To score.
I'm going to go Chubb and hope he gets in the end zone again.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad way to put it. I mean, he plays the Jags, not a terrible matchup. So
yeah,
I don't hate that too. R says, can you answer my prior question, please? And thank you. If I'm not mistaken, it is this one right here. Who do y'all think I should start as my RB2? Hampton, Tracy, Sharps, or Judkins? And I believe all of us said Judkins.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. We would start Judkins. Bijan and Johnston for Lamb, AJ Brown, and Kelsey. Coach, would you do this? I mean, if you're getting Lamb and AJ Brown and you have the running back depth,
yeah,
you have to, right?
Yeah, as long as you got the running backs, yeah. Now, if you don't, then no. But
if you're relying on James Conner and Isaiah Pacheco and Tyrone Tracy, I would not do this deal.
No.
Yeah. But Lamb is so good.
Big Bills guy. He's a Buffalo man to his core. Says, what's up, boys? Choose 2 QBs this week. Drake May, Dak, Danny Dimes, and Bo Nix. Sorry, I skipped Dak first. I'm going to go with Dak and Bo Nix.
Tyler, you go next. I want you to say Danny Dimes.
I knew he was going to do it. I knew it. Yeah, I'm going to go Dak and Danny Dimes. I'll do it. I'll be the butt of the joke this week.
For those that don't know, that hurt. That hurt Tyler bad.
That did.
Coach, go ahead.
I agree with Tyler.
Look at you two.
I agree with Tyler.
Just rolling.
Well, Bo Nix is taking on the Chargers in LA. That's going to be a competitive game. I like what Danny Dimes is facing better.
It is going to be a good game, a tough defense. I also think Denver's defense is going to bounce back a little bit, but Nix is one of those guys who finds a way to get it done. He'll run the ball too. So I like Nix apparently more than the Bo Nix believers of this group. Pete asks, who is the alpha of the mediators? Who do we think is the alpha? It's
The old man.
It's Coach in his own head. He's we'll drop him off back at the senior center later today. Willie says to my rant, salty, go Birds. I can't now. The tush push isn't illegal. The NFL used to ban helping the runner. That rule was removed 2005. Pushing a running forward, still a penalty, but pushing is legal. The Eagles
We realize this.
I totally agree that it's not illegal to do the tush push, but I think it's just simple as, again, we enforce the rules. Works because teammates shove Hurts from behind. The committee has reviewed it several times, decided not to outlaw it. Don't disagree. All we're saying is let them line up straight and let's see what happens, because that is what matters. Zach says, bench Tyreek for Pickens, also starting Terry and Swift or Judkins in the same lineup. Coach, what do you think?
I would bench Reek for Pickens, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And Judkins over Swift.
Yes. Same.
I think I'm going to go Swift over Judkins. Swift has enough to roll in this offense and gets enough opportunity. I feel safe with that. I want to see Judkins get another week of what the heck is this offense going to do. I realize both of you have already said that they've already listed him as the running back one of this offense, and that certainly matters. I don't disagree. But at the same time, he only played 27% of the snaps this past week, 10 carries for 61 yards, 3 catches for 10 yards. The game got really, really ugly, so he had a bunch of chances to do that. I'm curious to what it looks like with him being the guy to start the game. How long is he out there? Is it one of those things where he's 55% of the snaps, or is he 75 to 80% of the snaps? So I'm going to be watching. Scott says, make sure to like and subscribe. As always, listen to Scott. The guy knows what he's talking about. He's a great guy, so we appreciate him for being here. Adrian says, by the way, I'm a Chargers fan, so I don't like that, but it works if it's legal. And it's debatable if it's legal. Just saying. Adam says, 10-man full PPR flex. Sutton, Myers, JMO, or more, Coach?
I think I'm still taking Sutton over this group.
Okay. Tyler?
Man, that is tough. I'm between Sutton and JMO. Coach is a noted JMO hater at this point.
Well, and they're not playing this porous Bears defense this week, so.
But they're playing the Chiefs, so they're going to have to keep up. I would probably go Sutton. I think he bounces back. If you get to the situation and you need an upside play, I would probably go JMO, but I would start Sutton to start.
Sutton's the best player of this group, and I'm starting Sutton. I don't care that he had the bad week. Everyone's going to have a bad week. We got to move on, and I think he's going to be fine. He's a good player, good offense. He'll get it back. Jonathan Santiago says, need one PPR, Pickens, Wandale, or Sutton. Tyler?
Needing one, let's see. The Cowboys play Chicago. Give me that matchup. I will take Pickens.
Coach?
Yeah, I'm going to go Pickens. I think a better chance he scores a touchdown than Wandale, and Sutton has the Chargers. I'm
sticking with it, man. Like, the Sutton's hate is getting out of control for me right now. And I get it's a tough matchup, but he's still the best player out of this group for me. I think Sutton's going to have a real opportunity to continue to be a good player. So I'm rolling with Sutton. Chris, because we have to talk about the Raiders for Chris. Says Raiders win against one of the best defenses through 2 weeks. 2 touchdowns total allowed, only 1 through the air. Geno flopped, but he's better than what we saw on Monday night.
They went against one of the best defenses through 2 weeks because they were playing the Raider offense.
I think the second part of this is right. I do think Geno flopped. He's better than what we saw Monday, but as you could tell where Coach lies, it's
I'm just messing with Chris, honestly, but sort of.
It goes back to the truth is somewhere in the middle. And this Raiders team is not as bad as they were last night. Geno's not going to complete 3 passes or whatever he had and have 4 interceptions and just look like totally lost at all times. But at the same time, this Raiders offense is falling right in line with a lot of things we've talked about all offseason. And I can't emphasize that enough. We said don't draft Genty tons of times. Don't draft Genty.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's looked okay with the ball in his hands, but he's not getting the opportunity. He's not getting the production, and that matters. He will get better as the year goes on, but he will not pay off his draft cost. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, it wasn't as much don't draft Genty. It was don't draft him where all these people are drafting him. At the cost, yeah. And the Chargers are really good. Like right now, they are really good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we are almost caught up with the chat, so we'll answer all these questions. Then we're going to get to coaches' picks. Just have to mention, Adrian, every team can run it. It's just the Eagles are the best at it. Not every quarterback squats 600 pounds like Hurts. Don't disagree. The line is fantastic. Hurts is great. Don't miss what we're saying.
Matt, elaborate on your point again, just for a second. We're not saying the tush push is illegal. We know the tush push is legal.
The tush push is 100% legal. If you go back and you look at the play, 90% of the time when the Eagles run this play, they are breaking the center's hip, and that is offsides as a lineman on the offensive line. You cannot do that. You can't. That is the rule as it's written. If we enforce the line of scrimmage as it's supposed to be, then the play should not stand. That is an illegal play.
And they're jumping offsides.
And that's the next part. Yeah, that's the next part is they're false starting. That's a penalty in itself. And I get that sometimes it's so close and they're going to know the snap count, and you just got to understand that sometimes it's going to happen. Play the offensive line. I get it. But at the same time, you cannot line past the center's hip, and that is what they're doing.
There is stuff here that I would completely disagree with. Like, 100%, the Chargers could do it if they wanted to do it, right? 100%. The question is whether they're going to be allowed to get away with the things that the Eagles are allowed to get away with. Right? Like, we know good and well that Herbert could get under there. Josh Allen could get under there for the Bills, as big a man as he is, and they could push them forward, and they could sub in linemen and push him forward if they wanted to. We know they can do that. The question is, are they going to be allowed to leave early, line up off sides? Those are the things. And I'm interested to see if the officials are watching it more this week, because it's been a huge deal all over TV this week.
Yes, it has.
I hope. We can only hope. Make it fair. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's get back to work, boys. Trump forces in reference to the JCM trade. It's redraft. I picked up Mac Jones. My league is full of quarterback hoarders. Waiver options: Russ, Darnold, Geno, Bryce, Wentz, and Rodgers. Does this change your guys' thoughts on the Drake May trade at all?
I'm probably taking Drake with those options. I mean, if you're picking up Mac, that's fine, but I'd rather play Drake May over any of those guys, really. So,
yeah, I don't disagree, to be honest. And I hate that the league's doing this.
But yeah, me too. I think Darnold and May are comparable.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe, but Drake May has the rushing upside. That's the tiebreaker there.
I hate to say it, but Rodgers too, man. Like, I get he's old.
I mean, he didn't
have a great week, but he looked okay. Yeah, I mean, if some of those deep bombs he has get connected with, then we're talking about a different thing.
Bryce always his day in garbage time too. That helped his numbers at the end.
It's true.
Yeah.
Bryce's look tough, man. I needed an RB2. Who you going with? Henderson, Hampton, Pacheco, or Judkins? Tyler, you go first.
Man, I've been burned by Travion Henderson in my redraft league 2 weeks in a row. First week, he looked good. I thought we were going to do great. Second week, didn't really do much. But that being said, they're playing Pittsburgh. And as of right now, Pittsburgh is one of the worst run defenses we've seen so far this year. So I tend to lean Henderson here. If I'm not going Henderson, I'm going Judkins.
Coach?
I'm Judkins, Hampton, Henderson, Pacheco.
I mean, these rookie running backs are brutal, man. Like, what do we do?
Tyler, Judkins is your guy, Tyler. Plant the flag.
Yes. I've been saying that all year. I said that in the offseason. He was my guy.
I just think the Browns to stay in the game are going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to. Like, I get the Packers D is really good, but
I think I'm
they
going
can't
Judkins
be one-dimensional.
I hate this situation, but I'm going Judkins. I don't like any of it, to be honest. These rookies are They're killing me, man. They're killing me.
And I would totally understand if you took Pacheco out of the mix and like just drew a name out of a hat. If I'm being real honest, like that's where we're at with those rookie running backs to a certain extent.
I totally agree with that. That
I
would
like
have
all
as
three of
much
those
success.
better than Pacheco.
Yes, 100%.
Well, we've got a couple more questions. Let's speed through these. I'm going to sign them one by one, and then we'll get the coaches' picks to end the show. In says, how big are we on Troy Franklin? Is it worth a flex over Terry or Kamara, Coach?
No, I'm big on Troy Franklin. I'm adding him in waivers where I can, but I'd still go ahead and start either of those two guys one more week.
Oof. Adrian says it looks like a false start, but it's not. The refs would call it. I gotta totally disagree, man. Totally disagree. If you pulled the tape, that was 100% a false start last week. The center hadn't moved. Both the guards are already pushing forward, hitting. That's a false start. And I love O linemen, and I'm all for in the trenches and getting dirty. But let's carry on. O'Reilly says thanks for the help. Listen says thanks for the help. You guys were talking about shooting offers out for AJ Brown. Thoughts on sending Etienne, Kyron, and more for Gibbs and AJ Brown? Tyler.
I would actually do this deal, and that's because you're getting Gibbs back. He's the best player in the deal to me, so I would do that.
Yeah, that's a home run trade if you can make that happen. John says the team is Kyler, Bucky, Connor, CD, Tyreek, Laporta, Chuba with Ricky and Debo on the bench. Would you trade Kyler, Chuba, and Ricky for Josh Allen, or is that too much? Coach, this is for you. So you're relying on Bucky and Connor basically going forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're banking on.
Yeah. To me, that's. I mean, I get it because Josh Allen is so valuable. Yeah, I get it, but that makes you razor thin, and it's scary.
Yeah. Tyler, to your trade, he adds that JT, Kyron, Etienne, Pollard, and Justice Hill are the running backs right now in this 12-man. Change your thoughts at all?
No.
Okay. My running back room is Walker, Judkins, Scattaboo, Dobbins, and I'm trying to get Harvey off the waivers with priority 5. Someone dropped him. Coach, would you burn that waiver wire priority to go get RJ Harvey?
No, I'm not burning that.
Tyler, would you trade Puka for Justin Jefferson?
No. I'd keep Puka right now. There's too much in flux with the Vikings offense for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Chris says the cost of Genty was always a problem. Don't disagree. Would you trade Nico for T-Mac and Javonte Williams? Nico has not looked great so far. He did have the touchdown, which saved his day, and thank God he had that. But would you trade for T-Mac and Javonte Williams? Coach, I'm going to make you answer this because I'm really interested in what you would say.
I think if I'm desperate for a running back, like we're in a bad way, this is the tear down I'm going to, then yeah, I wouldn't be against it. Javonte Williams has looked good, man. He needs some flowers. He looks really good.
Yeah, he is a solid RB2 going forward. Like he is at that point where he needs to be ready to be in your lineup or be a flex play for you, unless your running back room is really dang good.
Yeah.
Tyler, let's stay on the Nico train. Would you trade Nico and Devontae Smith for Puka Nacua?
Yes.
Yeah. Last one here. Chris says Pickens is a sell for him. To put my money where my mouth is, I just traded Pickens and Caleb Johnson for Henderson today. Well, I would say that you just probably, maybe committed robbery if Henderson becomes what we can think or what we think he can be. Caleb Johnson has been brutal, and that just goes back to this whole rookie running back, the greatest class of all time. Sometimes it doesn't pan out. Sometimes it takes some time. So keep that in mind as we move forward. Since I was posting my running back room because of the trade I asked about earlier, Bijan, Johnston for CD, Kelsey, and AJ Brown.
Okay. That was the one that we were talking about. The running back room was Walker, Judkins, Scattaboo, and Dobbins. I think. Yeah, that's what that was in reference to. So are you trading with that context? Are you trading Bijan and Johnston?
I'm keeping Bijan. I think you need him. Like you
I
need
agree.
him bad. Okay. Well, Coach, it's officially time. We've hit all the questions. So if you're still here with us, be sure to like the show. You can throw in your questions and we'll come back to them real quick at the end. Coach, I'm going to kick it over to you with your questions. Give us a recap where we are and get us started.
Well, if we go back, looking back through last week, man, I had a brutal week. Matt had a phenomenal week.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
He really did. Dak and Jordan Love, most total yards. Dak had 378. Love had 304. Both played pretty well. More rushing yards. Charb or Kenneth Walker. It was Kenneth Walker. Matt was the only one that took Walker.
Always had faith. Never a doubt.
Which defense gives up more points, the Titans or the Steelers? Well, it was the Titans by 2 points. Coach was the only one that took the Steelers. That hurts.
Nothing
Most
like a
passing yards, Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. Tyler took Hurts. That was wrong. Mahomes was the one. More total yards, Chase Brown or Travis Etienne. It was Etienne, and we all missed it.
Yeah.
That's what happens when Joe Burrow goes down.
The total is right, 100%. The total is Coach with 4. I'm now dead last. Tyler with 5. Matt with 7. We have a long road ahead of us, gentlemen.
We do. But it's about building off of that good week. You got to stack the wins, is what they would say. Go ahead, Coach. What's our first one?
That brings us to this week. So we're going to start with higher or lower. 200 passing yards for Michael Penix Jr.
2 passing. You mean 2 passing touchdowns?
200 passing yards. Higher or lower.
Okay.
200 passing yards, Michael Penix Jr. this week.
Tyler, you go first.
Oh, man. Who do they play again?
The Panthers.
They're playing the Panthers.
In Carolina.
Dude. I'll take the over.
I'm going to take the over as well.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Which means he's probably not going over because last time we all took it, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen, yeah.
All right. Which Packer wide receiver, this does not include Tucker Kraft, which Packer wide receiver will have the most receiving yards this week?
Matthew Golden has the big bomb touchdown this week, folks. It happens. I did that because I don't think either of you will make that pick.
I knew that was coming. I'll go the safe route. I'm going to go Dobbs.
I got the Browns. Yeah, I gotta go Dobbs just because I've been preaching Dobbs.
For the record, if Tucker Kraft was in this, I would pick Tucker Kraft. Just saying.
Well, then you're going to have your opportunity right here. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Most receiving yards this week: Brock Bowers or Tucker Kraft?
Oh, damn.
Ooh. I mean, Brock plays Washington.
Green Bay has the Browns. Browns defense is not bad.
I mean, we got torched by Kraft. I'm going to go with Brock Bowers.
I'm going to go the video isn't posted yet, but I'm going to go off my rankings. I'm going to go Bowers.
Wow.
Yeah. That hurt me. That hurt me
I'm sitting here going, I need a comeback. Like, it's not everybody picking the same is not going to help me. But I honestly, when I made this question, I thought, well, they're all going to take Kraft, and I'm taking Bowers. This is where I make my move. No, I got Bowers. I'm taking Bowers.
Hey, sometimes not making the gap bigger is better.
Just stay with the group, Coach. Keep pace.
Yeah, I'm with it. All right, last one. And we kind of got my answer of what I think you guys are going to pick here as we did the show. The last one right here. Which rookie running back will have the most rushing yards this week? Not total yards, rushing only. This is tough now.
It is tough.
You know what? I don't think I can do it confidently. No, I'll do it. Bill.
Bill.
Wow.
Bill
gets the opportunity. They need to get him in there. The rest of these running backs, I don't know what the heck they are. So give me Bill.
Well, I'm going to go ahead, Don. I'll let you go.
You go ahead because I'm still thinking.
Just for context. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm scanning through matchups again one final time.
For
To be like,
context, we've got rookies like Amari and Hampton taking on the Denver Broncos, Ja'Cory taking on the Raiders, Travion Henderson takes on Pittsburgh, Quinshon Judkins takes on Green Bay, Bajal Tootin, Houston, Cam Scatterbo versus Kansas City, RJ Harvey against LA. And those, I think, are your notable.
I like how I noticed you said Merritt takes on the Raiders. Well, how about Genty takes on the Commanders? I'm taking Ashton Genty.
Okay.
You just went through all the rookie running backs and left out the only first round. Well, not the only, but the top pick of the bunch.
Which I want to say, the Commanders are currently sitting at one of the best teams against running backs in all of football right now, fantasy-wise, giving up the 7th fewest points to the running back position. We'll probably blow that against Hampton because Frankie Louvu has struggled to tackle, and Josh Jacobs ran him over several times.
No thoughts on Scatterbo for anybody? No Scatterbo for anybody?
Yeah.
I'm not willing to do it just yet. As much as I want to go Travion Henderson, he just hasn't gotten as involved enough as I would like. I'm going to go
boy, Tyler.
I'm not going to do that either because they're playing the Packers. So I'm going to go Hampton against the Broncos.
All right. Well, be sure to tune in to the end of the stream next week for the full results and as well as Coach's next set of questions. We've got a couple here that we'll just throw out there real quick. Kobe says, someone offered me Hampton for Javonte. What are we thinking, Coach?
I want Javonte.
Yeah, I think I do too.
I can't believe
Safer
I said
play.
that.
Tyler, you agree?
Yeah, if you don't need if you don't need Javonte to play right now, I would take Hampton. If you need him to play now or like as a flex, then I would just keep Javonte.
Tyler is sitting on the casting couch. There you go. Chris says if London flops this week, he's blaming Coach on his 200-yard line. Probably. It's a good person to blame. I have a serious question if y'all have it.
Man, London concerns me. I am worried about London. He was one of my favorite players in all season. But he's going to bounce back. He's bouncing back.
He's bouncing back. So William Stevenson asked Coach, is there a chance that A-Chain is outgained by any of those running backs, those rookie running backs? He takes on the Bills. Total yards, give me A-Chain. Rushing yards, it's at least interesting, right?
Yeah.
Rushing yards 100%. Is interesting. Overall, I mean, I would take A-Chain over those guys.
Yeah. I mean, A-Chain, just worth noting, week 1, 55 yards. This past week, only 30 yards on the ground. So if we're only doing rushing yards, I would be interested in some of those rookies. Total yards, give me A-Chain just because he's so involved. But that's going to do it for us. We hit the hour-and-a-half mark. We appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the Face Off Sports Network. Check out the Patreon, links in the description. As always, go follow us on X. We're so close to 1,000. We appreciate all of you, and we will catch you next Wednesday.